Argentina versus Cape Verde might become one of the greatest upsets the World Cup has ever seen.
Lionel Messi, there's the block, and Messi again, Martinez! Lionel Messi! Oh, it's a little bit wayward, there's a chance, and a goal!
Now that would be one of the biggest upsets surely in the history of the World Cup, if Cape Verde were to knock out Argentina.
Argentina think they've already reached the round of 16. That's their first mistake, because standing in front of them isn't just the smallest nation left in this World Cup, it's the team nobody has managed to beat. Spain couldn't break them.
Cape Verde, in their first ever World Cup game, have just drawn 0-0 to one of the big favorites to win this entire thing, the reigning European champions.
Uruguay couldn't break them.
But I'll tell you what, every time they got an opportunity, they got men forward and they put pressure on Uruguay. So yeah, I think 100% Cape Verde deserved this point.
Saudi Arabia couldn't break them. Now Lionel Messi and the reigning world champions believe they'll do what everyone else failed to do. On paper, this should be over before it begins. In reality, it might become the biggest shock football has ever witnessed. To understand what's really happening in Miami, you have to go back to 2013. Cape Verde had just beaten Tunisia on the final match day of African qualifying, earning a place in the World Cup playoffs for the very first time. For a nation that has spent decades just trying to be taken seriously by the international game, it was the greatest footballing moment in their history. Then, FIFA arrived. The ruling came down fast. Defender Fernando Varela had picked up a red card in a match that was later forfeited by the opposition. Cape Verde argued that with the result voided, the ban should have been cancelled too. FIFA disagreed. Varela had served part of the suspension. That meant he was still banned when he played in the decisive qualifier against Tunisia. FIFA voided that result as well, sent Tunisia to the playoffs instead, and Cape Verde, ranked 27th in Africa at that point, one of the strongest teams in the continent, were stripped of everything overnight. Most nations disappear after something like that. The anger fades, the players drift, the federation stops dreaming. Cape Verde did something different. They kept the wound open on purpose. They treated it like a debt that hadn't been paid. Babista, former captain, the man who played for this country for 16 years and never once had a proper kit to wear, eventually took over as head coach and installed one rule immediately: Creole only in camp. No exceptions. Didn't matter if you were born in Lisbon or Rotterdam or Dublin, you were going to learn the language of the islands, because every time you opened your mouth in that dressing room, you'd remember exactly what you were playing for. Then, the scouting operation began, and this is where the story gets genuinely extraordinary. There are roughly twice as many Cape Verdeans living abroad as there are on the islands themselves. Portugal, France, the Netherlands, Ireland. The diaspora spread across a generation of emigration, following work and opportunity wherever it appeared.
As you know, there are way more Cape Verdeans in the diaspora than there are in the actual country. Without just, it's over 500,000. But just here in the United States, we have over that number. And then when you go to Europe and all the other places in the world, I'm sure there's another double over there as well. So Cape Verde is a country of immigration, and the diaspora is what supports the mainland.
Babista and the Federation looked at that and saw not a tragedy, but a talent pool. Every single one of those people carried eligibility. The Federation just had to find them. Some of those finds were straightforward, others bordered on absurd. Pico Lopez was playing for Shamrock Rovers in Ireland, born and raised in Dublin, didn't speak a word of Portuguese. When the Federation found his LinkedIn profile during a late-night search,
Pico Lopez, who's in the center of defense, he is 33 years of age, he's a defender for Shamrock Rovers and has lived in Ireland. And the way that he got into the national team was the manager of Cape Verde reached out to him via LinkedIn in Portuguese and said, "Would you like to play for the Cape Verde national team?"
They sent him a message.
I got a message on LinkedIn. If I never got back to him, this would never happen.
He saw it, assumed it was spam, and ignored it for 9 months.
this player, Pico Lopez, thought it was like spam. He didn't even bother to read it. He was like, well, what the hell is this?
The manager had to follow up repeatedly before Lopez finally ran it through Google Translate and realized someone actually wanted him to play international football.
The same coach reaches out to him in English and says, no, that was a real offer. Are you interested in playing for us? And so here he is now at the World Cup at 33 years of age and is kind of a hero in Ireland as a result. Obviously, Ireland not at the tournament. They came very close. But he's kind of a hero because, oh, this is our guy who's playing at the World Cup.
Another player in that squad once worked as a mailman before football gave him a different life entirely. These aren't embellishments. This is how the squad was actually built. The goalkeeper they convinced to come out of retirement is now the most followed goalkeeper on the planet.
I think it started already. We talked about it where we had Vozinha, and it means the voice, where he's gone from 50,000 followers on social media to chasing 5 million now.
Vozinha, 40 years old, a free agent when this tournament started, his club contract expiring in weeks, turned up at a World Cup and produced one of the great goalkeeping performances in its history.
What a performance. You might be playing in the second division of the Portuguese league, but trust me, I feel sorry because you're not younger and maybe teams can't get you. Well, my brother, you've just put, like, this is going to be a performance that we're going to think of for years to come. This is going to be a performance. Oh, yo, do you remember this performance from Vozinha, Cape Verde against Spain? It will come down to you. What an incredible MVP performance.
Against Spain, he made 7 saves, most of them from dangerous positions inside the penalty area.
They had 27 shots on Vozinha's goal, 7 of them on target. Vozinha was a man possessed.
Spain dominated possession, completed passes all night, created wave after wave of attacks. Didn't matter. Cape Verde's defensive block never broke.
Well, let's just get it out of the way and give Cape Verde some love. In terms of them playing defensively and playing together and solidarity with how much they were willing to work for each other.
Their midfield sealed the central lanes. Possession is only a weapon if you can use it, and Spain couldn't.
You knew that Spain were going to carry all of the possession. What was really concerning for me from the Spanish perspective is how deliberate and slow the possession was, and it's so slow, and it's moving sideways and back and sideways again.
The match finished 0-0, and Cape Verde's defensive record during World Cup qualifying, 7 clean sheets across 10 matches, suddenly made a lot more sense. Against Uruguay, the other side of the team showed up. Kevin Lenini put Cape Verde ahead in the 21st minute. Uruguay hit back and turned it around to lead 2-1. Then, Helio Varela leveled it at 2-2 on the 61st minute, through the kind of quick transition that Cape Verde had been threatening all game.
One of the players that almost stole the show and almost stole the match was Varela, Aurelio Varela, where he takes it and just started bossing the game. And you just saw this renewed energy and this sense of belief within this team.
Against Saudi Arabia, they stayed controlled and professional, confirmed their place in the knockout round, and watched the final seconds of the other group game together, phones in hand. The whole island doing the same thing back home.
We talk about Cape Verde here. They haven't come to this World Cup and been fearful.
No.
They've came and thought, you know what, if we get spanked, we get spanked. But we're going to give it a go, and they're out of the group, and it's a great story.
Vozinha's mom, who'd missed the Spain game because the visa cost too much, finally made it to the stands. FIFA had helped sort it out. She watched her son go further than any Cape Verde team had ever gone. Argentina came through the group stage looking exactly like defending champions should. Messi, somehow still doing this at 39, scored 6 goals across 3 matches, including a free kick. He came off the bench to curl in against Jordan, that made professional goalkeepers watching him from their sofas question their career choices.
Can't count this Argentina side out from going back to back, because you make 9 changes. Yes, it's against Jordan with all due respect, but he comes off the bench and he just does it. He's effective. He's a different player from what he was 10 years ago when he was busy and electric and getting all over the pitch.
Lautaro Martínez moved intelligently throughout. Lo Celso knitted attacks together with the kind of composure that makes everything around him look easy. And Emi Martinez was barely asked to do anything serious. The back four of Tagliafico, Otamendi, Senesi and Palacio held shape, won their headers and conceded once.
Messi, and it's a bit messy this, but the cast around them I think is even better now than it was 4 years ago, so there's no reason why they aren't going all the way to the end.
8 goals scored, maximum points. Group J wasn't particularly kind to them in terms of opposition quality, but Argentina didn't look like a team waiting to be woken up. They looked like a team that already knew what they were doing and was simply getting on with it.
They have something that a lot of teams don't have. They have that streetwise, that football savviness. And if they want to make it a street fight, and the experience, and just that unity. You look at so many of the teams, England, a team that they could play on this bracket, on this side of the bracket. You look at Argentina now, we're not asking questions about them, mostly because of the group, but you wouldn't say the same things about the English national team, would you, about the streetwise, the savviness? And yes, they have Harry Kane, they have Jude, but I would actually favor Argentina against England right now.
That's the problem Cape Verde face on paper, and it's a real one. But Argentina haven't yet faced a team that defends the way Cape Verde defend. Algeria sat deep and got picked apart. Austria were competitive, but never genuinely suffocated Argentina's attack. Jordan offered almost no resistance at all. Cape Verde play something fundamentally different. They don't chase the ball, they don't press desperately or scramble when possession breaks down. They hold their shape, trust their structure, and make you solve a problem you can't solve with technique alone. Spain are one of the most technically gifted teams in the world, and they spent 90 minutes not solving it. The central tactical puzzle involves Messi specifically. He doesn't operate the way he did at 30.
He's older. He's older. You can see he's slower, but he's way more intelligent. He understands exactly when I need to use my energy and when I need to reserve my energy.
He drops deeper, finds pockets between the lines, and forces teams into a decision: follow him or hold the line. If you follow him, you open space behind. If you hold the line, he dictates from distance with De Paul and Enzo Fernandez, making runs off him. Cape Verde's answer won't be to assign a man to him. They'll hold their defensive shape and force Messi to find solutions from further out, from more crowded areas, against bodies that refuse to be pulled out of position. Whether that works against the greatest player the game has seen is genuinely unknown. Nobody has ever fully solved it, but a few teams have made it uncomfortable enough to matter. Scaloni has already spoken publicly about the Miami humidity. Argentina's rhythm is built on movement, constant overlapping, interchanging runs that create the gaps Messi exploits. In serious heat, legs stop moving on time, passes arrive a half-second late, the margin compresses. Cape Verde, who've already survived a physically brutal group stage, showed against Uruguay that they can still press forward in the final minutes of a hard game. If this match reaches the 70th minute level and Argentina still haven't broken through, the dynamic shifts. Pressure accumulates on the side expected to win. Cape Verde need nothing from this game, except the thing they've chased for 12 years. One transition, one block from Vozinha that kills momentum. One moment where Argentina's defensive line hesitates on a Cape Verde counter, and someone like Semedo is suddenly through. That's the upset formula. It doesn't require Cape Verde to be better for 90 minutes. It requires one crack. And what every team Cape Verde have faced so far in this tournament eventually found out is that the crack doesn't always come. If Argentina win this cleanly, the bracket rolls on as expected. But if Cape Verde hold them past 70 minutes, every contender still in this tournament starts doing the math differently, because the reigning champions finding no answer against a team of diaspora players, LinkedIn recruits, and a 40-year-old free agent goalkeeper would send a message that no seeding, no history, and no reputation can fully protect you in a knockout game. This isn't a fairy tale. 12 years of unfinished business looks nothing like luck when you see it up close. History says Argentina win this. Football has been ignoring history for 3 weeks now. Cape Verde don't need 90 minutes of brilliance. They need one moment, one save, one counter that this tournament will never forget.